Well, Hunter children, we're glad that Hunter tuned into this show episode of Gullah Geechee TV Nation News, where we to commemorate the International Day of Remembrance of the victims of the transatlantic slave trade. Now, we're going to stand now outside this here building dedicated to the trail of the Negro and things like that. When we to going somewhere from the Gullah Geechee Nation, you know we take you upon this your trail of where we ancestors them be at, all along the different coastline, down the east coast, down through the Gulf Coast and things like that, and then to other rest of these spots, all in the inland, where we children been to migrate to and things like that. But you know what? Never forget your ancestors. Never disrespect your elders, and plenty blessing will come to Hunter. So make sure, if Hunter never done for now, take this your day for learn to leave it, but the trail that your ancestors them done blaze for bring you to the point where you're there at right now, children. This year the Queen Queen, head upon the body of the Gullah Geechee Nation. Peace and blessing. Now one of the things that Hunter yet we to talk about been the gumbo. And when Hunter come to the Gullah Geechee Nation, Hunter will ask me for gumbo and things like that. When you come to New Orleans, you yeti for gumbo. It's a different thing than what we done make. But gumbo, the word for okra and things like that too. Now you see here, at the African village, you got one thing here, say okra is a green pod-like vegetable that is native to Ethiopia and North African region. The arrival of okra in Louisiana can be traced back to Africans that were brought to the area on French ships during the slave trade. The word okra may have come from the word okuru and Igbo, a language of Nigeria. The word gumbo, which is another name for okra, is also rooted in African language. In fact, it's a Gullah Geechee word. The word for gumbo is kingombo in Tisula language and ochigumbo in Umbundi language. And both of those languages make up part of the Gullah language, okay? And which are part of the family of Bantu languages, just as Nigerians are part of the Gullah Geechee ethnic group. So when the Africans began mixing their okra with rice and other local products, they called it gumbo. The same thing we covered at the Gullah Geechee Guayan Conference, that even the blending of cultural traditions through foodways, through music, through spiritual practices is what linked us. So we, in essence, are a living embodiment of what it is to be a gumbo, to be this mixture of color and of culture, of language and of tradition. And so to then live in a world where you have to wear a mask to sometimes hide that, but you can go back and fetch it. If Hunter know where Hunter the day from, Hunter ain't going to know where Hunter the going. Sankofa is what we seek to do, because then we lead to a point of umoja, which is unity, that unifying element bringing us all back together, which again is our African tradition that we celebrate, our culture that goes along so many riverways that are throughout what you call North America and the United States of America, where we can celebrate just who we be, wherever God will have we come upon this your journey. So Hunter chillin', this year the Queen Queen, head upon the body of this year Gullah Geechee Nation. And Hunter know that this year the war going on. Never let your drum stop sounding. Celebrate who we be. Come together in unity. More than chillin'. This year the we day. Ha! Yeah, chillin'. What Hunter have to say. Peace and blessing. My next steps on the journey in this time period of remembering the victims of the transatlantic slave trade brought me here once again to the East River in New York. Wall Street in the East River was the second largest slave auction block in North America. Now this is a point of enslavement, because then people themselves were enslaved. They were not just born out of their mother's womb as slaves. But there was a process by which Africans, indigenous Americans, and other people were enslaved in North America. And now, at this time, as soon as I enter into the UN, what do I see? Remnants of ancestors, Sinke, and African heroes. Of course, the revolts and repression, the Maroon resistance, which of course includes those of the Gullah Geechee Nation, who yet still fight who are still uprising to protect their human rights, their culture, and tradition. Now, interestingly enough, the first person, the first face that I saw as I entered the UN today is this face that many of you in the Gullah Geechee Nation should be looking at and know instantly as our ancestor, John Horse, who they call a Black Seminole. But as we see here, Black Seminoles and frontier freedmen, as the Schomburg has called them in this exhibition, are actually Gullah Geechees. And so when we start to talk about this aspect of revolution, this aspect of uprising, when you talk about the Black Seminoles and Muskogee, they are all part of the Gullah Geechee diaspora. And so it is the perfect opportunity for this broadcast for us to share these remnants, these pieces that are being pulled back together by so many who walked the lands of the Gullah Geechee Nation, went westward, continued to fight, went northward and came back south and continued to fight. Like this woman, Harriet Tubman, who we call Mother Moses, who, as you see here, pictured with her family, continued to hold on to family ties, continued to fight so that the family could remain free, be together, stand for their rights. And so, as we continue to go forth into the 200 years since her passing, it is an honor to see her again included in such an exhibition as this, along with folks like William Still, that many of you may have watched a documentary about this past February on PBS, and that many of you have read his works about being an Underground Railroad conductor, along with these many other faces and people that ran but did not run alone, that evaded, that escaped chattel enslavement because they always knew that they had their human right to be free. That this condition of cruelty that many of them that had been brought into North America were going to suffer and endure, that were brought to other parts of the Americas and suffered and then endured, was not their lot in life, that this was not what God had birthed them to be. They knew that they had every right to be free. So as we see with all of these ports that went from the motherland to South America, to the Caribbean, and then right here to where Hana Chilla know where we da be, where we be from, and things like that. Hana can see this year, the land still, and we, the Gullah Geechee, still there. The whole country, the culture of we motherland, the whole country, the rights of we people, but one thing that Hana never forget Hana ancestors. Because Hana ain't know where Hana the day from. Hana ain't going know where Hana the gone. Hana chillin', this year the Queen Quet, coming to Hana one more again from this year Gullah Geechee station in the Gullah Geechee Nation, Gullah Geechee TV Nation News from the United Nations for this year, where we remember we our ancestors death, what become true this year thing called the TransAtlantic slave trade. I remember the rivers we had to cross. I remember thinking my soul would be lost. I remember the fighting, screaming, and the blood spilling on the ground. I remember the voices ringing out. Yes, I remember each sound. I remember the net that they caught me in. I remember plunging the knife over and over again. I remember looking at you